Welcome guys back to another video in the channel. We are doing another episode of Arsenal Transfer News Daily. We have some breaking news today as Martin Odegaard is set to fly to London in the next 24 to 48 hours to complete his loan move to Arsenal on a 6-month deal. The other day we did make a separate video on this, so if you haven't already checked that video out, and leave a like and subscribe on this video and on my channel. And Martin Odegaard, we have talked about him in a bit of detail already. I'm very excited about this deal, and I hope you guys are as well, because in my opinion people are saying 6 months won't be enough to show what you can do at this football club, but I think it will be, only because, you know, if we can get a buy option in there, which reports say they're not, Real Madrid are willing to negotiate some sort of buy option if Odegaard is willing to stay at Arsenal. And if Zinedine Zidane is still at Real Madrid come the end of the season, then possibly Arsenal can strike a deal to sign him. Now, a report in Spain and all around Europe are saying that a deal, like final agreement, and here we go, from Fabrizio Romano, is very imminent and could be coming today, later today, which I will make a separate video on. If there is some breaking news regarding that, then I will make a video hopefully. But with Martin Odegaard, it looks like he will be traveling to London on Monday. Before, you know, we'll reach an agreement on Sunday, full agreement we should be getting a here we go from Fabrizio, and then on Monday we should be getting flying to London. You'll have people tracking his planes, Ubers to London, Colney. You'll be getting all of that jizz on Monday hopefully. And then hopefully by Monday or Tuesday he is announced as an Arsenal player, which will be very good for us. Now, in terms of whether he will have to isolate, he wouldn't have to, because he's coming from a sports bubble, and that's if he returns a negative COVID test, then he doesn't have to isolate and he can come straight into Arsenal's sports bubble, which would be very good for us, because he could be available for the game against Manchester United next Saturday. I doubt he'll be available for Tuesday's game against Southampton, but it does look like this Martin Odegaard deal is done. As I did say, Arsenal are set to sign Martin Odegaard. I can confirm to you guys now that this deal will get done, and yeah, it's very exciting news for Arsenal. We have beaten off competition from Real Sociedad. I did post on my Twitter and all around that, you know, Real Sociedad manager completely neglected it, said that there's no chance of Odegaard coming back. He even said that Real Madrid blocked our move, and I think it makes sense, because in a way they are rivals, Real Sociedad, so you're basically strengthening your rivals for a loan deal. I don't think that makes a lot of sense in my opinion, and obviously I will just have to see. And Ajax were another club, but for me I didn't think Ajax were a real possibility because of Odegaard's time in Eredivisie with Vitesse and Heerenveen. I doubt he'd want to go back to that league. He'd want to prove himself in another league, and I think the Premier League is a perfect place to do that. It did look like Real Sociedad were going to sign him at one point, because they were the only club in the running that Odegaard wanted to go to. But obviously Arsenal's bid came in. Fabrizio said, you know, they were tempted. Odegaard's camp were tempted, and then obviously AFC Belt and other reports have then broken in the coming hours that he wants Arsenal. He wants to join Arsenal, and obviously in that number 10 position we're gonna have a bit more competition now because of Odegaard coming in. It will hopefully ease the burden of Emil Smith-Rowe, which is the main priority, because you think some people are saying, oh, why Odegaard? You know, why do we have to sign a crazy midfielder? The problem is Pepe isn't on form. Saka, why would you take him off the right hand side where he's been really good? So you know, if Emil Smith-Rowe does go off form, everyone will be saying, oh, why do we not sign an attacking midfielder? And Odegaard, everyone's saying he could be a Bruno Fernandes, or he could be the next Denis Suarez. I honestly think it'll go either way. It'll either be he is our next Bruno Fernandes, you know, he takes us into top 4 or whatever, or he could be the other side, Denis Suarez gets an injury and never plays for us and it's a failed loan move. So we'll just have to see what happens with that one. But that is the news, that Martin Odegaard is set to sign for Arsenal. He is going to fly to London in the next 24 to 48 hours, and yeah, very excited. Next bit of news surrounds Ryan Bertrand. Now, this is one of 2 left backs we're going to be looking at now, and Ryan Bertrand is a player we have been linked with. Now, he did play against us in the FA Cup in the game we did lose against Southampton, and I thought his crossing looked pretty decent, and that's something other than Tierney we don't have within our side. So maybe Ryan Bertrand is a good possibility, and according to some sources we have contacted his agent over a possible deal. Now, he's a very important player to Southampton, but he's got 6 months left on his contract, exact same situation as Cedric Suarez was the other season. Arsenal could sign him or on a pre-contract or whatever. I'd rather him come in now, to be honest, because I think we need a left back cover now. Cedric's not been good enough at left back, nor has Maitland-Niles, and Tierney's our only out and out left back. So that begs the question, why do we let go of Ced Kolasinac, maybe let go of Maitland-Niles instead. I'm not too sure, because now we have to go out into the market and actively try and search for a left back, which is going to be hard. But obviously him and another player are been linked with possible deals. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with Ryan Bertrand. But for me, I wouldn't take Bertrand for the only reason that it's another half-assed finished player signing. It really is. He's like 29, 30 years old now, and what, like, come on, we don't need these finished players at our football club. We need young players who are willing to grow with us, and you know, those kind of players. We don't need these half-assed short-term answers. I don't see a long-term transfer strategy at Arsenal at the moment, and you know, likes of Cedric, likes of Luis, likes of Socrates, you know, we sign half-assed so-called experienced players, you know, sign them on decent money or big wages, and then they just turn out to be not that good, or sometimes good, you know what I mean, and they just don't live up to the hype. And I think Bertrand could be one of them. And I think if it came down to it and there was no other option, then maybe Ryan Bertrand could be it, at least for a 6-month loan, maybe a 1 or 2 year deal, but nothing more than that, because I don't want to keep a player like him at our club for that long, because I'd rather a young left back come in, because I think Tierney can be the experienced one in the side. He's won 14, 15 trophies. If you have a younger left back next to him, then maybe that he could grow, he could develop under Tierney, under Mikel Arteta, under any other manager we bring in eventually. If he does get sacked, then I think that's a better option. But Ryan Bertrand, really not for me. Would rather have someone younger. But leave your thoughts in the comment section down below about Ryan Bertrand. Would you bring him into Arsenal or not, from Southampton on a free deal or some sort of pre-contract agreement? Next bit of news is on another player we've been linked at, and it is Crystal Palace. Tyrick Mitchell, as Arsenal are eyeing the Crystal Palace starlets, with 21-year-old out of contract in the summer. So very similar situation with Ryan Bertrand, and we are reportedly lining up a move for him, and Arsenal are one of the clubs that are courting the 21-year-old Mitchell, according to the Evening Standard. Mitchell has taken his chance to shine at Selhurst Park after breaking into Roy Hodgson's first team. It is widely reported that the youngster is out of contract in the summer and could be snapped up on the cheap, but the report states his deal is believed to run for longer, making the chances of snapping a bargain much slimmer. Mitchell has started 10 games this term, playing the full 90 minutes of every occasion, and his performances are understood to have caught the eye of a number of Premier League clubs who are scouting him. Mikel Arteta is hoping to ease the workload on Tierney after the former Celtic man was pulled out the Crystal Palace game with muscle tightness and other little niggles that Tierney gets. So he's not the most fittest person in the world. Saka can deputise them, Maitland-Niles can, as well as Cedric, but again, we don't have an out-and-out backup left back, which is a bit of a problem. But we are keeping tabs on Ryan Bertrand, as I said earlier, and we are obviously, you know, send Sead Kolasinac out on loan for 6 months. So we are looking at this player, Mitchell. Now again, I would take him 100% if he's out on contract, and we could get him for a cheap little bargain. He's been very good for Crystal Palace this season. Yeah, I'm not going to say very good, that's just a bit stupid of me. I'm going to say he looks reliable, because he's played for Crystal Palace this season quite a lot of times. He is someone like of the ilk, as I said, that he could develop under someone like Tierney, defensively, offensively. And I think this deal could work better for us than Ryan Bertrand, only because I think we need a more long-term strategy, and someone like Mitchell would fit that, I think. But I can see why people would say Ryan Bertrand instead, because of that experience, covering for Tierney in the Premier League. Yes, I get that, but I think someone like Mitchell might work a bit better for me. We'll just have to see what happens. But again, a lot of clubs are courting him. He might have another year left on his deal or something. We don't really know. Again, we'll just have to see in the coming days, remaining days of this transfer window, whether Arsenal do actually go after a left back, because we've completed the signing on Matty Ryan, which I'll go on to in a bit, and we are going to complete the signing on Martin Odegaard. So are we going to go with one more left back to bring in? Hopefully we do, because I think we do need one, especially going into the Europa League games against Benfica, also juggling Premier League, Thursday, Sundays, essentially. I don't think that would work very well for us with Tierney playing both games, because I just don't think it would. I think Tierney, it's better for him as a fitness thing for him to only play one out of those, I'm just saying, or play both but get benched, but get subbed off or something, because I think Tierney, he might get a few injuries and we really need him fit for the rest of this season. So I think we will need to have to sign a left back, and I really do think someone like Mitchell or even Ryan Bertrand could do the job. But who do you think you would sign out of those two players? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Last bit of news is on Matty Ryan. Now, obviously I did make a video on it, but as soon as the announcement came, I started doing that 2-minute little video on Matty Ryan. But my initial opinions on Matty Ryan after a day or two to reflect on it, is that he is a decent little signing because he's not really going to play. Let's be real. Obviously now we've been knocked out the FA Cup, he's not going to get a game at all. And obviously, you know, Leno, unless Leno get injured or has a little niggle, he ain't going to play because we've knocked out the FA Cup. He's not going to risk a backup goalkeeper in the Europa League, especially in the game against Benfica. Maybe in the next round, if we get someone lighter, then possibly. But again, Arteta doesn't want to throw this competition, the Europa League, because it will be so big for us, only because it will be a way back into the Champions League. So we'll just have to see what happens with that one. But again, Matty Ryan is just going to play backup dancer. He ain't going to get games unless Leno, the unfortunate happens. But I think Leno's looked good over the last few weeks, and he's not really conceded a lot of clean sheets as well, one of the most this season as well out of all goalkeepers. So he's a good goalkeeper. I like Leno, but yeah, Matty Ryan is decent little signing. We needed a goalkeeper. You know, Renarson isn't reliable. I think it doesn't. Yeah, I think Matty Ryan does provide a tiny bit of competition for Leno. It's only till the end of the season on a 6-month loan. So yeah, I think that's it. But again, it lacks of long-term solution because it's only a 6-month gap. Then in the summer you're looking for another goalkeeper, and we're looking to loan out Renarson. So what are we gonna do there? I'm not too sure. Matty Ryan is also homegrown. He just fits into that category, so that's very good for us. But yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below about Matty Ryan. Do you like the signing or do you not? And check out my initial reaction and Arteta and Edu's thoughts on that one in my initial video of Matty Ryan. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe, and make sure to share the video as well. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.